Follow me, the bee whispered. Kintu watched as the bee hovered through the air, darting between the cows until it landed on only a large familiar creature. Kintu smiled as he recognized Bihongo. "This is my cow," he declared confidently. The bee then flew to a smaller cow nearby, and Kintu added, "And this is her calf." Ggulu was astonished. "You are indeed, Kintu, a great man. You may marry my daughter," he proclaimed. With Ggulu's blessing, Kintu and Nambi were married in a grand ceremony in the heavens. Ggulu bestowed many gifts upon the newlyweds to take with them to earth: a sheep, a goat, a chicken, a banana plant, and seeds for every edible plant they would need to sustain themselves. He warned them, however, that they must leave immediately before Walumbe returned. "If your brother sees you, he will insist on coming with you to earth. His presence will bring death and suffering to your world. You must leave without delay and never look back," Ggulu warned solemnly. Nambi nodded, understanding the gravity of her father's words. She and Kintu quickly gathered the gifts, preparing to descend to earth. As they left the heavens, Nambi hesitated for a brief moment. "Oh, I have forgotten to bring some food for my chicken." Against Ggulu's advice, she rushed back to collect millet, knowing that it would only take a moment. However, that small delay gave Walumbe the chance to notice them. Walumbe, who had been watching from a distance, grew curious and followed them. By the time Nambi and Kintu had reached earth, Walumbe had caught up with them. "Sister, why did you leave without me?" he demanded. "Surely you did not think you could live on earth without me?" Nambi's heart sank. She remembered Ggulu's warning, but knew there was no way to send Walumbe back now that he had arrived. "Walumbe, this is not the place for you," she pleaded. "You belong in the heavens with Father." But Walumbe refused to listen. "I will stay here with you and Kintu," he insisted, his eyes darkening with determination. Nambi and Kintu had no choice but to accept his presence, though Nambi felt an uneasy chill run down her spine. As time passed, Kintu and Nambi prospered on earth. Their crops grew abundantly, and the animals Ggulu had gifted them multiplied. Life was peaceful, but that peace would not last. Walumbe, growing restless, began to cause trouble among the creatures of the earth. He resented the beauty and harmony of the world that Nambi and Kintu had created, and soon his dark influence spread. One day, Walumbe approached Kintu and Nambi's children. "Come play with me," he called to them, his voice laced with malice. Nambi tried to warn them to stay away from their uncle, but it was too late. Walumbe's touch brought death, and one by one the children began to fall ill and die. Nambi was heartbroken, realizing that Walumbe's very presence had unleashed death into the world. Kintu confronted Walumbe, demanding that he stop this senseless destruction. "You have brought death into our lives. Leave us!" Kintu shouted, but Walumbe only laughed, his voice echoing with cruelty. "Death is now part of this world, brother. It is unavoidable. You cannot stop it." Realizing the depth of the curse Walumbe had brought, Kintu sought help from the heavens. He prayed to Ggulu, begging for a way to rid the earth of Walumbe's darkness. Ggulu, hearing his cries, sent Kaikuzi to earth to capture Walumbe and return him to the heavens. Kaikuzi, Nambi's brave brother, descended from the heavens and confronted Walumbe. "Brother, your actions have brought suffering to earth. You must return to the heavens with me," Kaikuzi demanded. But Walumbe refused, fleeing deep into the forests of earth. Thus began the great chase. For days and nights, Kaikuzi pursued Walumbe across the land. They raced over mountains, through rivers, and across vast plains. Each time Kaikuzi came close, Walumbe would disappear into the shadows, evading capture. Despite Kaikuzi's best efforts, Walumbe always managed to slip away. Finally, after weeks of relentless pursuit, Kaikuzi cornered Walumbe in a deep, dark cave. But before Kaikuzi could capture him, Walumbe escaped deeper into the earth, hiding in the underground world where Kaikuzi could not reach him. Defeated, Kaikuzi returned to Kintu and Nambi with heavy news. "I cannot capture Walumbe," he said. "He has escaped into the underworld. As long as he remains there, death will continue to exist on earth. But one day, he will resurface, and the chase will begin again." With Walumbe hiding in the underworld, death became a permanent part of life on earth. Nambi and Kintu mourned the loss of their children, but they knew they had to continue building their world. The crops still grew, the animals still thrived, and the couple went on to have more children, even as death lingered in the background. Though they lived in the shadow of Walumbe's curse, Kintu and Nambi found joy in the beauty of the world they had created together. They taught their children the ways of the earth, showing them how to care for the land, animals, and one another. Though death was now an inevitable part of life, Kintu and Nambi's love and resilience ensured that life continued to flourish. If you don't watch the next part, you'll never know the full story.